Good evening and welcome, everyone. I hope y'all been enjoying my videos that I've been posting lately, especially my cooking videos. Mm. You didn't know I could cook, right? I just look like this. Yeah, I can throw down when I want to. But I enjoy cooking, really. I do enjoy cooking. I enjoy chatting with people that I don't know. I've been receiving a lot of messages about my cooking, and I'm so excited that you guys watching and continue to watch, share, and like and follow me. But I've been chatting with a lot of people, and I'm excited. Yeah, I'm very excited. So, cooking never was my thing, to be honest, but my mother, my sweet dear mother, she continued to pressure me about cooking, and she insists that I would get in that kitchen and learn some things. So I am elated that I did learn some things. I wanted to give up on learning how to cook things from scratch, to be honest. Yeah. And I was like, Mama, I'm not gonna never get married, because she was telling me, you're gonna need this one day. You might get married. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get married. Little did I know. Little did I know at 15 and 16. And the first thing I did, guess what? I got married. So I'm glad that she pressured me and continued to let me get in that kitchen in spite of I didn't want to go. I didn't want to think about getting in the kitchen. I didn't want to cook. I didn't want to get my hands dirty. I'm like, let's get this over with. But I'm so glad she kept pressuring me, and I'm so glad that I did learn. I did learn a lot. I did pay attention. Actually, I didn't have a choice. Um, my mom was like, you're going to get in here and you're going to learn something. And I'm so glad that I did get in the kitchen and learn, because I only have one child. Now he's grown, but I'm glad I got in the kitchen. I learned, and I know how to cook. I know how to cook. It didn't start out that way. Trust and believe. It did not start out that way. Boy, do I have some stories when I got in the kitchen and was on my own and burned up a lot of things, threw away a lot of things, but I kept going. And I would just cry and call Mama, oh, Mama, what did you say to put in this and to do this, to do that? And she said, girl, didn't I tell you? You supposed to have been paying attention. But she would do her little spiel. She would do fussing. And she said, okay, write it down this time. Get your book and write it down. So I got me a little pad and I started writing things down. Then, it just started coming to me in the mind. But I'm so thankful and grateful that I learned how to cook, because this generation, I look at them raising their children. Oh my God. Microwavable, processed food. Oh, God is killing us. And we have to stop that. And this generation do not want to get in the kitchen and cook nothing. They'll burn up water. But they just don't have time. They say they don't have time to cook. But I think it's very important, especially when you have a family or when you have children. They need to take the time out to learn how to cook. So that's why it's so important to me to share some recipes that I learned when I was 15 and 16 years old growing up. I know I probably should have got in there a little bit earlier, but my mom did not want me to get in there earlier. But I did get in at 15 and 16 years old. And I'm glad I did, because if I would have got in there a little bit earlier, I don't think I really would have comprehend a lot of things that was taught to me. So when I got in there at 15 or 16 years old, I can comprehend a lot of things. And at that time, I didn't understand why I had to get in there. I didn't understand why I was wasting my time in the kitchen, I thought. But at the end, right now, it paid off. Everything is paying off that I learned in Mama's kitchen. So even though Mom is gone, but I thank God that bring it back in. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to get emotional. My mom just passed December the 4th, but give me a second. Sorry. Oh, God. But my mom, she taught me a lot of things. And when we was in the kitchen, you know, at the time, I couldn't see a lot of things that I see now. It was a lot of love and laughter in that kitchen, especially we would sit around the kitchen table waiting on the dinner to get ready. And back in the 70s, you know, we didn't have a lot of sodas or nothing like that. Actually, we had Kool-Aid, if anybody know about that. We had Kool-Aid, we had fried chicken, mashed potato, greens, green beans, pinto beans, cornbread. We had the soul food that comes straight from the garden onto our tables. Right there, we would eat fresh food, fresh food. So we didn't have the chickens, you know, we would go to the store and get the chickens, but we would have fresh vegetables coming to our table, and that meant so much to us. You know, we didn't realize if we did have hard times or if we were struggling, you know, back in the 70s, we didn't know, you know, we just knew that Mom and Dad did the best, very best that they could. My mom was a hairstylist over 40-some years. My dad was a truck driver over 30-some years. And I was sharing that with one of my friends, and he said, y'all was rich. I was like, really? I said, my dad was a truck driver, and my mom, you know, she was a hairstylist, and he said we was rich compared to where he came from, you know, growing up in the projects and had to hustle all the time. I'm sure that, you know, I'm sure we was rich to him, but like I said, if we was on Struggling Avenue, we didn't know anything about it because our parents never did discuss anything in front of us. You know, for one thing, now these days the kids know everything about their parents, their business, because they discuss everything. Oh, we don't want to hide anything from our children. We want them to be open and we want them to know what's going on. But sometimes children need to be children. Sometimes they don't need to hear what's going on because it will affect them and impact them in their school, in their learning, in their sleep habits. You know, it will take a toll on some of mentally. And we don't realize how our children can hold things in, and it will really take a toll on them and their schoolwork and acting out in different kind of ways. So I'm glad the way we was brought up, we didn't know a lot of things that our parents was going through, and I'm glad because they wanted us to have the very best, even in the struggles. We had the very best. We didn't have to lack for anything. We didn't have to struggle for anything as we know of as children. And I believe today's society put too much on their kids. Let them know too much, hang around grown folks' conversations, and be involved and engaged in grown folks' conversation. And I think, to me, my child did not indulge in stuff like that. I raised him like I was raised, and I think that helped him a lot until he got to be a teenager. Then, you have those particular teenager challenges that we all face from time to time. But overall, he turned out to be a well-mannered young man, and he turned out to be successful, you know. But back to me, growing up in Mom's kitchen, it really taught me some things: how to be respectful, for one, how to be a go-getter, go out there and get the things that you need in an honest way, in a hard-working way. Don't go out there taking and stealing and doing things that you know that is illegal. But Mom and Dad taught us how to go out there and get things in an honest way, and to want things and have nice things, and to work hard for what we want. But as we was working hard, also to respect your elders, respect one another, your co-workers and people you have contact with, treat them as you want to be treated. That was her motto. That was my mom motto, respect others. If you want respect, you got to gain respect, and so on and so forth. I look back and I think about a lot of things that were said to me back then, and growing up in the 70s really didn't make sense to me, but it makes sense now. And I'm going to tell you why it makes sense now. Because some of the things I see my mom in me, I repeat some of the things that she says. Like today, my son, he came and picked me up and we went riding. He said, "Where you want to go?" I said, "I just want to get out. I haven't been out the house for my apartment, for 7 days or more." And I said, "I just want to go to the countryside. I just want to ride, And I can remember, and when I said that, I can remember when I used to go and get my mom. And I said, "Mom, where do you want to go?" And she was in her 70s then. I said, "Mom, where do you want to go?" She said, "Oh, I just want to go riding." She said, "I just want to go. I just want to go. I don't know where I want to go. I just want to go." So I caught myself repeating the same thing that she would repeat, she would say. And I just had joy bells ringing in my soul when he came to get me, and we was just riding. Well, I was riding and sightseeing, and he was driving. Same thing I used to do when I would pick up my mom. I would just see the joy on her face, and I would pick her up, and we would ride and talk and eat and go get things. Or sometimes we would go by Brahms and get us a scoop of ice cream together and keep riding, and talking. So I caught myself today and I'm saying, I'm acting just like my mom. I told my son that. I said, I'm acting just like mom, just like a kid in a candy store. I was so excited because, I'm getting out the house and we're spending time together. I don't have any girls, so it was just so exciting to me just to get out and breathe. Sometimes we need to just breathe. We don't realize how life is closing in on us, and sometimes we just need to take time to breathe and to enjoy life, you know, because life is so short. I tell you, it's just like the vapor, like the Bible says. Life is just like a vapor, be sucked up before you know it. And if you don't enjoy life, then next thing you know, life is gone. You gone. Bam, boom, disappear. And so each day I'm learning more and more about life and how important it is to get out and just breathe and enjoy life. The simpler things, smelling the flowers or picking flowers or just not saying anything at all, but just being with that loved one to let them know, hey, I'm here. I'm here to support you. I'm here listening. I have a listening ear, and I may not say anything, but I'm right there to support you. And you give me the permission to say when to say something, not me just button in and just say, I think you should do this. I think, I feel like this is how it should be. No, wait and let them decide how it should be. Because you have to remember, you have to respect one another, especially if a person is grieving. You don't know how they're feeling. You don't know what they're going through. And each person, listen to me, each person grieves in their own unique way. Remember that. Everybody don't grieve the same. So it's not a time limit or a certain time you should stop grieving. It's totally up to that person. It's totally up to that person. And it's totally up to that person to surrender it to God, whatever that it is. Let that person make that decision to render it up to God. Because when you're grieving, God is carrying us on his wings anyway. He's carrying us, every day. Woo, this is deep. He's carrying us each and every day, We just have that mustard faith just to get up. Oh, glory to God. Just to get up and breathe. Just to get up and see another day. Just to get up. Just to get up. If you know how much strength it takes just to get up and out of the bed when you're grieving, that's a lot of energy. And to get up out the bed and go about your day, put on your clothes, take a shower, put on your makeup, straighten your hair up, and you can keep pushing and moving. I'm going to tell y'all something. I have spoken to a lot of people after my mom passing. And I told them, I said, this is the hardest thing for me to do. I have never felt the pain that I am feeling now. You know, and I love both of my parents. But it's something about a mother's love. It's something about when she carried you those 9 months and she gave birth to you. And she birthed you out and held you in her arms and protected you and sheltered you and nourished you and encouraged you and pushed you to go on and on and on and spoke life into you and say, baby, get up. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. You're going to make mistakes, but don't lie in it. Get up. When mama pushed those words out and you accepted it in your heart, in your spirit, and she encouraged you, she inspired you just by being the example, that was enough right there. See, God gives us unique parents. We don't get to pick and choose them. God have already chosen them for us. And he put them here temporary to teach us, to show us the way. Even though we know God is the way, he's the truth and the life. We know that. But God have destined us, and he have assigned us to particular parents that can raise us the right way, that can teach us the right way, because God is leading and guiding them and speaking through them and letting them be the example for us. You know, some of y'all gonna catch it after a while. And I thank God that I had the parents that I had, because, you know, my daddy, if anybody know my daddy, God, he kept us laughing. And some of the sayings that he used to say, it didn't click with me then. But it clicked when I got older and wiser. And I used to say, that's what he meant. You know, I used to say, my daddy speaks in parables. He wouldn't come out and say what he had to say. He wanted you to figure it out. He wanted you to get it in an educational way. He just didn't come out and just talk and say what you wanted him to say. He wanted you to sit on that and really think about that. And if you got it, good. But if you didn't get it, oh well. Oh, and he would keep us laughing around the table, around Mama's table, and Mama would just look at him, and she would drop her fork and spoon or whatever she had. She'd say, Otis. Oh, but, you know, whatever was on his mind, he was definitely say it. And she would look, Otis, you know, but that was my dad. Then my mother, she was so meek, and she would try to straighten up, come behind my dad and straighten up some things, and my daddy would say, hell no, that's what I meant. Nope, don't be soft on these kids. They need to learn. Oh, wow. But at Mama's table, Mama's kitchen, we heard and had plenty laughters and love, and it was family time at the table, you know. And one thing at the table, we didn't have a choice of what to eat and what not to eat. Whatever Mom put on that table, that's what we ate. We didn't have a choice to say we didn't like this and we didn't want that. And no. We had to eat what was there or not eat at all. But we didn't have the choice of not eating at all, really, because she would fix the plates. And once she fixed the plates and put it on there, she didn't ask, what do you want on your plate? Whatever was in that kitchen, everybody got the same thing, and everybody was going to eat the same thing. Okay? But we know that's not so these days. The children get to pick and choose and decide what they want to eat. Okay? And most of the time it's junk. And the parents say, okay, they don't want that. Give them this. They wanted that. They said they want this and they want that. Not in Mama's kitchen. No. Whatever was cooked, everybody ate whatever was cooked. You're going to eat that. Whether you like it or not, you're going to eat it. Because I slaved over on that stove and in that kitchen. I slaved cooking for y'all. And y'all don't have a choice of what you want. That was in Mama's kitchen. Mama would say no. It's not going down like that. It's only one chief in this kitchen, and that was me. So y'all sit y'all butt down and eat. And after y'all get through eating, y'all gonna take y'all bath and go to bed. We had to be in bed at a certain time, and 9 o'clock. Oh, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We would look at the time. We would hate that 9 o'clock rolled around. Just think, at 9 o'clock was bedtime. And we were going to be in bed at 9 o'clock. Not 9:05, not 9:02, but at 9 o'clock. And you know, back then in the 70s, the street lights, hey, used to come on at 9 o'clock. Y'all remember that? The street lights used to tell us in the summertime when we didn't have to go to school. And those street lights, don't let them street lights catch you and you outside. At 9 o'clock, those street lights would come on. Everybody better be in the house. All the kids that was playing in the streets. At that time, we played in the streets. It wasn't like it is now. We rode our bicycles, we played basketball, we played football, we played cheerleaders, we played everything in the streets. And when we saw a car coming, we had sense enough to get out the street. Then when they passed, we would go back and cheerlead and singing and playing hopscotch, jumping jacks, all of that. But don't let them street lights catch you at 9 o'clock. And we could tell when it get close to 9, we would stop doing what we was doing. We better go in the house. Okay, we'll see y'all later. All right, same time. Same time. But don't let them street lights catch you. Because they will pop on at 9 o'clock. And sometimes we right there. Mama, we on the porch. Daddy, we right here. Can we stay on the porch? Yeah, y'all can stay a few minutes. Then at 9 o'clock, we watch them porch lights, watch them street lights pop on. Then we would go in the house. Then sometime we would look through the window and watch the lights come on. We knew it was 9 o'clock. Then I think the news would say at 9 or 10, do you know where your children's at? Station identification, standby, all of that. Am I telling my age? I'm 60 and I'm proud of it. Yes. But, you know, it's just the things that we appreciated. You know, kids don't have the things that we had then, just the simple little things like I just mentioned. And we would gather around the television. We had a floor model TV. And when we got a color TV floor model, oh, we was the stuff. We was the stuff back then. And I can remember my mom, she would go in the kitchen and pop some popcorn, and we would sit around and watch the news of Flip Wilson and Fred Sanford and the Jefferson. And we would cut the lights, dim the lights low, and we would sit around. We was kids, and we had to sit on the floor while our parents would sit in the sofa. And we would pass that bowl around, that popcorn, and that popcorn would leave so fast because it was 3 of us at the time, not including my mom and my dad. So it was a family of 5. And just one bowl of popcorn passing around, you might get two good licks out of it, and that was it. And if the Flip Wilson, Fred Sanford, whatever we were watching, Good Times or whatever, it just depends on how much laughter was in that bowl. And sometimes Mom would say, well, we got some more popcorn. But see, we didn't have microwaves then. If microwaves were out, we didn't know anything about it. So my mom would go in there and pop popcorn on top of the stove. I did a video of that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But I popped popcorn on top of the stove. Real popcorn, not microwavable. So I did a video on that as well. See, Mama Kitchen was a lot of fun, a lot of laughter and love, you know. But we don't sit around like that as a family, as a whole family, just watching movies and popping popcorn on top of the stove. We don't have time to spend with our children. They do their thing and we do our thing, and we try to compete with them, you know. These days we try to wear the same thing that they weren't, going out and partying and drinking and smoking with them, trying to be cool. No, not mine. Because one thing my mama said, I'm your mama, I'm not your friend. So don't get it twisted. She said, because you gonna respect me. I'm not your friend, I'm your mama. And you gonna respect me as your mother. She kept it real, baby. And my daddy, on the other hand, we know he was daddy. Because when daddy speak, everything has to cease. We had to come to a Hawkins school. Yeah. Daddy done spoke. And we was afraid of Dad. We didn't want to see him get angry or mad. Because we know, we was in trouble and some consequences had to be addressed. Yeah. Those was the real strict daddies then. Yeah. You go in the room, okay? I'll be in there in a minute. So, anyway, the mom ruled the house. The dad paid the bills. And if mom couldn't keep them kids in line and she had to call for daddy, baby, that was a whole new ball game right there. And he was out making the bread. He was out there working hard, taking a lot of stuff. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going down in the Browns' house any kind of way. We didn't have much, but we appreciated everything. We appreciated them as being our parents. So, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here and watching this and stopping by. I appreciate you guys are not part of my family, but I just know that one day y'all gonna be part of my family. Y'all gonna quit stopping by and visiting, but y'all gonna be a part of this family. I would love for y'all to be a part of my family. I can't wait for you to join this family and be a part of it. Your comments are always welcome. Your love is always welcome here. I can't wait to chat with you on the next video. Y'all be blessed and enjoy life because life is so short. And hold those memories so close to your heart. They are so precious. Don't waste another day of being unhappy and not loved. All right, see y'all next time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.